About a year and a half ago, we made a decision that changed our kids' lives. We moved them to a new country and a new language and to a public school system that most people warned us not to do. As parents, we've asked ourselves a lot of hard questions. Did we do the right thing? Are they happy? Are they okay? They've just finished their first week in public school in El Salvador for their second year. And today we're letting them answer those questions. This is their truth.
I feel safer in this school than I did in Canada.
In Canada, there's more chance you're gonna get bullied.
The hardest thing of not fitting in is not speaking the language.
Buenas tardes, mis amigos, y bendiciones para todos ustedes. Good afternoon, my friends, and blessings to you all. My name is Charity Hagenars. Bienvenido a mi canal if you're new here, y bienvenido de nuevo if we're already old amigos.
First thing I noticed when I came back to school was that we had a different classroom, but the class still stayed the same. Like all of my friends from the previous year were in the same class, and we also had different teachers as well.
The first thing I noticed when I got to school was some of the classmates that I saw from last year are in my classroom. A whole bunch of new classmates, and they actually like me. They actually want to help me.
The first thing I noticed when I came back to school was I got a new classroom.
The biggest difference here than in Canada is that classes start at 12:10 and they go until 6 max, but recently we've been going at 5.
In Canada, there's more chance you're gonna get bullied if you're in a special school. Like if you have autism or something like that, you can get bullied and that stuff, or for no reason, because Canada's education is not really good. El Salvadorian schools are really nice, polite. I never get bullied. Sometimes people make fun of me, the little kids, but it's whatever. They don't matter.
The biggest differences between here and Canada is that there's no snow, so I don't have to wear snow pants.
What was surprising was my English teacher this year didn't know that I spoke English, and she just assumed that I was just like the rest of the kids.
Was that surprising? No, not really. Same thing.
No, not really.
We didn't really do a lot of homework or really classwork this week. It was more emotional study, sort of, just to figure out where our mind is, I guess. All of the teachers had the same speech about emotional awareness.
Did anything make me nervous this week? No, not really. Maybe the work, yes. But it wasn't that bad. It was more like bully, social, that kind of stuff this week. What happened? Like talking about like what's the worst thing that could happen online and that type of stuff.
The thing that made me nervous this week was seeing if my teacher was nice or not.
I definitely feel more confident speaking Spanish this year. However, I still have a lot more to learn. So there's that.
Do I feel more confident of speaking Spanish this year? I'll give you an answer. I don't really think so. But as the year improves, maybe slight chance.
Okay.
The future has a lot to await.
I do not feel more confident with Spanish this year.
If I don't understand the teacher, I ask a student what they said.
I pull out the translator and I pull out conversation so I can understand what they're saying. Half of the stuff, the translator doesn't get.
If I don't understand the teacher, I ask my friend on Google Translate. My teacher speaks English a little bit.
Since it's the same classroom with the same kids, I don't have opportunities to make new friends.
I think so. They're my classmates.
I've not made new friends. And it's because everybody is the same.
Nobody treats me differently, even though I'm not from El Salvador.
I mean, there's a group of girls, when they see me, they run away. Like little girls, I don't know why. they have problems, maybe. They treat me like I'm a part of it.
I get treated the same in school as I did in Canada.
Hardest part about not fitting in is I don't speak Spanish. That seemed pretty obvious.
The language, definitely. If I know the language, I would fit in a class so well. I'll be cracking up jokes, maybe.
The hardest thing of not fitting in is not speaking the language.
I'd say the education system here is a lot more challenging than in Canada, which I think is a good thing.
I don't know if school will be harder, easier, or different this year.
The school is just different. It's not harder or easier than in Canada.
I didn't really get a lot of homework in Canada, so here it's automatically more because I just have homework.
I like my English teacher. He is full of confidence and energy. Last one didn't really.
I never got homework in Canada. I have a little bit of homework here than in Canada.
Subjects I like more here is English because it's like learning French in Canada, except you already know the language, so it's pretty easy class.
Definitely not math. I hate math still. Literature or language. Sure, I like those subjects because they're not that hard to do the work. It's pretty simple, easy. Math is definitely going to be the more stuff I struggle on, but
Definitely not PE. At the end of the day, I have a really favorite subject.
Is it called recess?
Recess is not a subject. It's a jailbreak.
What teachers do differently here than in Canada is that the teachers move classrooms to the students moving.
not much of a difference. Both of the teachers in Canada to El Salvador are really, really nice. They treat me with respect. Difference between El Salvadorian students and Canada students treat me like absolute garbage. Well, if El Salvadorian people treat me like I belong there and I'm supposed to be there.
The teachers here are different because they speak Spanish and Canadians don't. Yet.
I don't eat anything at school.
When I have money, I get some pupusas are really good. I get some fresh strawberry milk because it tastes really good. Maybe some like in a bag, like something like bubblegum cinnamon, like a small bag that costs like 25 cents. You like buy it and then drink it.
I don't eat anything at school.
Recess times here are very short. They're only 10 minutes, so they're set there just to get a breath of fresh air, just to go outside and then come back.
Everyone goes outside to go get something to eat, sit in a classroom and play games or play soccer or basketball, pretty much anything during recess.
The races here is way less fun than in Canada, and I think it's because I don't speak the language.
The school days in El Salvador are a little bit shorter than they are in Canada.
6:40 to 11:40 in El Salvador, and then I wait for like an hour for my bus, and then I get home around 1.
The school days here are shorter than in Canada.
The best part about the school day is that it starts at 12, so that I get to sleep in a bit longer.
Going home is the best part of the day.
The best part of the school day is going home.
I feel safer in this school than I did in Canada. Canada, there are some bullies, and here they have a very strict policy on bullying. I don't see any bullies here.
Yes, I do. I do feel safe at school, actually.
The safety of the school here is the same as it is in Canada.
Rules that are stricter here than in Canada are definitely bullies, and the appearance is very strict. Like you need a specific haircut, and they won't tolerate any difference in uniform. You need black shoes, brown pants, a belt, and a white shirt.
Bullying is definitely different. The more different of what's more stricter is there's no bullying. That's definitely a big difference. If we were in Canada and there was bullying, I don't think the teachers would stop it unless if a student went to the teacher and told what happened. Then they would do something about it. They don't really care about how long your hair was. I had like big fluffy hair, like Angela Miss Pierman, and she did not mind. In El Salvador, I have to have short hair.
There are a few different rules here, and the schools here are stricter that you have to clean the classroom before and after school.
I don't know what happens if someone breaks the rules because no one has broken a rule.
If somebody breaks the rules in a Salvadorian school, the school will probably call the parents, and who knows what happens.
If someone breaks the rules, their parents get called.
What I miss in school in Canada is that the recesses were a lot longer. It was just one recess, and it was 45 minutes long.
Actually, yes, I do miss a bit about Canada's school. I do miss my teachers a lot. They were really nice.
The thing I miss about school in Canada is the gym, because it's an actual gym and it's inside a building.
What I like better about school here is that I can easily go outside since the building is very open and the weather here is nice, so it's not actually freezing and it's enjoyable to go outside.
What do I like about in El Salvador schools? I like not getting bullied and not feeling like I'm gonna get made fun of at any second.
The thing I like about school here is nothing, because it's the same, kinda.
I feel more independent now than last year because everything isn't new anymore.
Yes, I feel more independent in El Salvador.
I do feel more independent here than in Canada.
If we moved back to Canada tomorrow, I would feel very frustrated because it was such a huge investment moving here. And then if we just moved back, it would feel like it was all for nothing.
If we move back to Canada, I feel like nostalgia, I feel like I'm dreaming again. And then when I have to go shoveling, it's gonna be nightmare. I'll be sitting there for hours going, more shoveling! 10 hours later, keep on shoveling. Shoveling's my worst nightmare.
If we moved back to Canada tomorrow, I would feel joy.
I would recommend kids to come here because a lot of the stuff is paid for, other than lunches and if you need a bus ride. But the uniform and the school supplies, they're all paid for.
Yes, but the language is going to be difficult, and the education is going to be a lot more difficult, so you have to get used to it.
I would recommend for other kids to go to school in El Salvador, but learn the language first.
Well, I would tell a kid who is afraid to move here, I would tell them that don't be afraid, just it would be better if you learned the language first. But I didn't fully learn the language first, and I turned out fine.
There's nothing to be afraid of. The people are really nice. They're not going to make fun of you like Canada, US schools. They're terrible. Well, here, you don't have to worry about me getting made fun of. Maybe little kids, yes, but they don't know what better to say because they're obviously not like teenagers, you know. You don't need to be afraid of anything. Adios, amigos! Adios!
What I would tell a kid who is scared about moving here, don't be afraid. The school system here is the same, or pretty similar, to Canada and the United States.
So now you've heard it from the kids. Be honest, would you want to send your kids to public school in El Salvador too? Let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next one.
The best part about the school day is going home. It's a good answer.
It is. That's what Annika said.
The thing I miss about school in Canada is 3 things. Not having to wear a uniform, having a free lunch, and
When did you have free lunch?
well, not free lunch because you paid for it.
Yeah, it's not free. There's no free lunch.
Yeah, but it's free for me. What was the question again?
Don't forget to hit the like button.